I never imagined that my life could spiral into such chaos. My marriage to Claire had seemed perfect for over a decade. We had built a home, raised a child, and shared countless memories together. But subtle signs over the past months, late nights, evasive answers, and secretive phone habits had begun to nag at me. Deep down, I suspected that something was terribly wrong. One evening, that suspicion became reality. I returned home earlier than usual and found Claire in our basement with another man. The sight of them together, so intimate and brazen, was like a punch to the chest. Shock and disbelief froze me for a moment, but soon, a cold, calculating clarity took over. This was the moment for action. This was the moment for consequences. I didn't confront them immediately. I knew that any impulsive reaction could jeopardize the impact of my response. Instead, I documented everything. I recorded the encounter on my phone, capturing every movement, every panic-stricken expression, every incriminating detail. I also gathered messages, emails, and photos from Claire's affair to build a complete record. I wanted undeniable evidence that could protect me legally, socially, and emotionally. Once I had everything, I carefully planned my revenge. I knew that exposing the affair in a controlled and strategic way would have the maximum effect. I confronted her lover first, alone in the basement where the betrayal had occurred. I calmly presented the evidence, making sure he understood that his actions had consequences. The fear in his eyes was immediate and unmistakable. He hadn't anticipated facing accountability in such a direct and personal way. Then I turned my attention to Claire. I collected every message, photo, and email that proved her ongoing infidelity. This evidence would be critical for legal proceedings and custody arrangements. I wanted her to understand that her choices had tangible, unavoidable consequences. I filed for divorce immediately. Custody arrangements for our child were prioritized to ensure stability and emotional security. Financial settlements reflected not only legal obligations, but also the emotional and psychological impact of Claire's betrayal. She had gambled with trust, family, and integrity, and lost completely. But my ultimate revenge wasn't just legal, it was personal. I removed Claire from my life entirely. I ghosted her, stopped answering calls, texts, and emails, and moved out with our child. By disappearing, I reclaimed control and dignity, leaving her to confront the fallout of her actions alone. The absence itself became a punishment. She had no leverage, no manipulation, no way to undo the damage she caused. In the weeks that followed, I focused entirely on rebuilding stability for myself and my child. Routine, emotional security, and support from friends became my priorities. Claire, meanwhile, faced the consequences of her audacity. Her affair had destroyed her credibility, reputation, and influence in my life. The fear and humiliation she experienced during our confrontation in the basement, combined with legal and social consequences, were irreversible. Looking back, I realized that true revenge is not about dramatic shouting matches or public humiliation. It's about strategy, timing, and reclaiming control. By catching them in the act, documenting everything meticulously, confronting the lover directly, filing for divorce, and disappearing from Claire's life entirely, I ensured the consequences were swift, undeniable, and permanent. Claire had assumed her betrayal could continue without consequence. She was wrong. The choices she made reshaped our lives, and through calculated, deliberate action, I reclaimed dignity, control, and the ability to rebuild a future free from deception. In the end, this story is one of betrayal, strategic revenge, and personal empowerment. A wife's audacious infidelity in the basement triggered decisive action, evidence gathered, legal consequences enforced, and ultimate control reclaimed. Claire and her lover had gambled with trust and lost. The lesson was clear. Betrayal has consequences, and some actions cannot be forgiven or forgotten.